All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in with me again today. How do you find the right influencer pages for your Shopify dropshipping specifically? We're gonna dive in how to do this, guys. I'm gonna try to provide as much value as I possibly can for you in this video. If you guys haven't joined the family yet, subscribe down below, throw a thumbs up on this video if you guys could for me, please. We're out in nature today by the pond, just at a local park. Now, this is one take, guys. Obviously, if you guys like these types of videos, join the family. Let me know if you guys do. I'm doing more, vlog style one take videos. Now, we're gonna get into the point of this video. Finding the right influencers when you're doing Shopify dropshipping. Now, this can be very hard as a beginner to do. I see a lot of people reach out to me saying, I did an Instagram influencer, but it didn't work for me. I don't think influencers work. And I tell those people, everybody that reaches out to me and says that, I'm like, first of all, Instagram influencers are so powerful. Influencer marketing nowadays, in today's day and age, you guys need to be utilizing. Even if you guys are using Facebook ads and they're doing crazy great for you, you still should be using, utilizing Instagram influencers. Influencer marketing, the reason why that works so well, guys, I'm gonna give a little backstory or whatever, some details about influencer marketing, why it works so well. Then we're gonna dive in how to find the right ones. Which influencers work, what pages work, how do I avoid failure with Instagram influencer pages, how to pick the right ones. Now, influencer marketing is so powerful, guys, because I mentioned it in the videos, in my videos before. The influencer is so connected with their audience, that audience really respects their opinion. So when you're doing e-commerce, and but don't mind me, guys, it's cold out here, so the camera's shaking anyways. Like I said, it's a one take. So, with influencers, the audience respects their opinion so much that basically when you send them a product, that influencer, and they review it, if it's the right people in the audience and the right influencer, it's gonna hit crazy. If you put the right product into, in front of the right people, then it's gonna work for you. The main problem I see a lot of people having when doing this is they put the wrong product in front of the wrong people, the wrong audience. A couple things to avoid this, guys, as we break down when I'm going in to pick a influencer for my brand, for any store. I'm looking at a couple key things. Those key things are their comments. If they have consistent comments, on their last posts, their last 5 posts, make sure they're all consistent numbers around the same. Otherwise, certain situations where you have less, the last post have 200 comments, and then the post before that has 17. Inconsistency with comments is one of the red flags that we're gonna be looking for when you're doing this. If you look for these 3 red flags, you're gonna avoid a lot of problems when doing influencers. So the first one is definitely, after you get onto their page, look through their comments, see that would be the first red flag. Inconsistency with comments. Second red flag that I would say is if they never post on their story. If they never post on their story, the audience isn't as connected with them. The whole idea behind that is essentially you want that influencer to be really connected with the audience, and the audience to appreciate what that influencer has to say, appreciate their opinion very greatly. That's, like I mentioned, why this works so well. So first red flag would be the comments, inconsistency in them. Second red flag would be stories, if they never post to their story. All right, I had to go in the car. I got a little cold. My hands were freezing. The camera's shaking too hard. The third red flag would be basically if on those stories the influencer posts too many products. You won't really see this, mainly on pages that are like meme pages, other things like that. You're not gonna see it as much with just solid influencers who really have a good connection with their audience. You're not gonna see too many like product posts. That's more rare, but that would be like a third red flag. There's other different things, but those are pretty much the main basic things. And what I mean by that third one is essentially if, the influencer is just posting a bunch of different products way too frequently. What that is gonna do is basically that audience is just gonna be like, each product is just not gonna mean enough, basically. If they're always overseeing products on that influencer's post or their story all the time, then they're just not gonna really listen to it at the end of the day. Now that would be, the third red flag, like I said. When you're doing these influencers, guys, I really look at a lot of different things like their engagement rating and overall like the vibe of the influencer. I think that's one of the most important things. When you can, as a beginner it's a little harder, but as you get more experience you can kind of feel the vibe of each influencer, and you can kind of just get more experience overall. After you just get better at doing that, finding the influencers and kind of judging the whole vibe of them. Now the great thing, guys, is that after you find one that works, you can use them. I've said this multiple times, you can use them over and over again. Literally, I have, I say this all the time in different videos, but I have influencers that will post once a week for me consistently for months on end, month after month, each week a post, and and they continue to do great. Now you will probably only see that with a bigger influencer because there's just more people in the audience, and maybe it doesn't get to everybody in the audience every post, so therefore you have new people seeing it, or old posts they didn't buy and they see it on the third post and they say, oh, I've seen this a couple times, I'm gonna buy now. I do see that with bigger influencers, more success with that. Smaller influencers obviously just have a smaller audience, so you're probably going to use that audience a little quicker when you're doing multiple posts. If you guys want to do it even once a month, that could be solid too. If you guys get enough influencers, in order to kind of scale up essentially with influencers. Like I did mention, even if you're doing a bunch in Facebook ads, I also always run influencers because they're just it's like there's so much potential for them. It's not just a beginner thing to do. I think maybe some people may have that misconception that only beginners use influencer posts, partly because I talk about it so much as beginners, but I think it's the best method as a beginner, and you can use it literally no matter what level you are at. Instagram influencers they have so much potential, it's unreal. And I have mentioned in the last video that I made about back in the day when they used to pay up front for a page in a magazine to promote a product or whatever. They pay a ton, and they didn't know really, they had to wait a long time to get even the results. Nowadays, guys, we pretty much have the same version of that, just digitally with these different influencers. And you guys see they're interchangeable too. Within one niche, in one industry, there are so many influencers, it's insane. And there's so many different niches, different areas, different things that people are into, that you guys can find multiple solutions, multiple products that provide solutions for people, all the people within those niches, their problems. Basically find products that solve a problem for those people, and you're gonna do really well. If you guys find the right niche and you guys go about Instagram influencers in the correct way, you guys will see the success that you see on the internet or other gurus talking about it. And essentially why I talk about it so much is because of the potential of it. So I do recommend everybody to try out influencers if you have not yet. They're, like I said, I don't want to ramble too much on them. As far as finding the right influencers, I do have other videos breaking more in depth about that. I did mention those 3 main kind of red flags when doing so. And then I also said, overall, you get the vibe. You can start to kind of read each influencer if you follow them for a little bit. The other thing, great tip I want to share with you guys is literally I've found products by just following influencers that they post. So other people's products, when I do a post with that influencer, I see it obviously because I'm following them throughout my various different stores and pages, and I see that and I can find other products that will work. And if you see the same product with that influencer multiple times, it's working for them. So there's another secret tip, when you're doing even product research, trying to find more products. Overall, guys, this is something that you need to work in with your business. Influencers, like I said, even the whole part about finding new products with their posts, that's a great thing. It's something that it's really underrated in my opinion. Not that many people talk about influencers as much as I think they should. It's all about Facebook ads, and don't get me wrong, Facebook ads are amazing. I run Facebook ads all day, but especially as a beginner, even now I utilize Instagram influencers heavily, and have different videos basically starting out as a $200 budget or $500 budget. I recommend Instagram influencers. This is the biggest bang for your buck. The only con with that is that you do have to reach out to influencers. You have to get them to reply, and that takes a little longer than just launching ads, duplicating, etc. So that is probably kind of the pros and cons, but the pros definitely outweigh the cons. Overall, if you guys are just frustrated about reaching out to influencers, there's different options you can do. You can get a virtual assistant if you guys wanted to do that, have them even comment on each influencer's post, DM them, email them, tons of different things you guys can do and utilize with virtual assistants, or just grinding it out and doing the work. If you guys put in the work for a solid week of reaching out to people, the fruits of your labor that next week are going to come to fruition and really, provide all those replies for you if you put in a lot of work reaching out to influencers. That is one of the biggest problems that people contact me saying, asking me, how do I get them to actually reply? Now, if you guys are doing it in numbers, that won't be a problem. I think the biggest problem people face is they're not hitting up enough influencers. Say if you only hit up 10 influencers, you may luckily to get 1 or 2 to reply. And that's kind of like what you guys can expect. That's just a good rule of thumb to kind of get you in the mindset of that. And you may have more reply. You just never know until you test it. That's why I do recommend everybody to just do the work, get it going, guys. Especially all you beginners out there, you guys need to be utilizing these influencers. All right, guys, I just want to say thanks so much for tuning in with me for this video and staying all the way to the end here. I want to thank you so much and welcome you to join the family, the Ecom Secret family. I appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me, so I really appreciate it so much. The reason why I do these videos is just to help you guys. If you guys have been liking these vlog style videos, more of the really one take, even though this was kind of cut up into 3 different clips or whatever it may be, this is really kind of a one take style video, more of a vlog style video. If you guys are liking these videos, let me know. I do have more polished stuff on the channel, but let me know. I'm kind of deciphering on where to take it with the channel. I want to get your guys' feedback. With that being said, thanks so much for tuning in with me. Throw a like down below and subscribe if you haven't yet. Welcome to the family, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.